Hey everyone, how's it going? This is the Draconic Sabrewolf himself, and we're not doing DSP right now. This is the follow-up, the second part to the PWR saga. If you saw my first video, PWR is kind of in, I don't know, not a good place, but definitely is saying some weird stuff. He's saying he's anti-detractor now. He actually is for Phil. He's white knighting Phil. All that good stuff. I only thought the one we saw was the only one, but apparently there was a second part to this whole fiasco. Shout out to Lord Diaz for getting this two-parter out there. This, I think, might have been actually the part that I saw in the first place and then accidentally clicked to the first one. But let's just go right into it. And it kind of sheds a little more light on what this like big plan of his is.
Everybody, thank you out to the real fans. Before I say anything,
look at the size of that thing.
Before I say anything, the one thing I do want to say is thank you to the real fans out there. Let's hear it for the real, genuine.
Sounds like he's going to cry again.
Real
Must be compensating
PWR fans that have been along on this journey that, you know, aren't here to involve themselves in this movement of hate. You know, I really do love you guys. I really do. It's been really challenging because when I think of leaving this career, I think of the real fans, the ones who want to be here, that want to.
Okay, so just a little, because he's talking about like the real fans, like the true PWR fans, stuff like that. Like when he was first highlighted, it was a lot of people just trolling him, and it still kind of is a lot of people trolling him. Like even the beginning when it was just like 5 people, he was getting a lot of people just kind of messing with him because he does sound kind of like a goofball, and you know, he's talking about Burger King goals and donating to DSP and stuff like that. Like, so, I mean, I hate, like, I don't think his fan base is as real as he thinks it is, but I'm sure there's a few people out there that kind of like DSP. He has a couple solid dents.
Sacrifice their time to be here. So before I get into tonight's topic, I want to make sure I thank those individuals. I know they're here tonight. And tomorrow, I'm actually going to be doing a stream for the fans. It's going to be reuniting myself with my childhood game, with my childhood restaurant. And I actually do got a big bottle of whiskey that I'll be sampling as well to enter the next portion of my career. I think it's going to be emotional. So we'll be doing that tomorrow around 6 o'clock. If anybody is interested in
Oh, by the way, I saw that, and it did not go very well. I only saw little snippets, which is what I was trying to find. I was trying to find the clips that someone had done of the stream, but at one point he does puke while on stream. Like, so it did not go well.
Spending that time with me. Then, unfortunately, I will be preparing for this trip I'm going to be taking.
It's kind of a bit repeating.
Where I am going to be starting this expose, this novel, and I'm gonna
It does get better. I did go through
this. It's really emotional. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna expose this culture of abuse, this culture of hate, and I'm going to make it public. I'm going to do everything I can to take the sacrifice that I've given in doing the streaming and really try to make a difference. You know, try to be the one person that finally stands up and says,
Wait,
this is wrong.
I already did.
You know, this is wrong. So tonight what I am doing is I am announcing
it's so similar to the other one.
Campaign against this culture of abuse. And that really is what it is. It's a campaign. It's war now.
Here we go. All right.
You know, it's gone beyond laughing and joking and, you know, little shots here and there or whatever. It's war now. And in war,
It's war, bitches. We in Vietnam now. It's really not that big of a deal, my man. Like, it's really, like, I feel like he is blowing up. And I think he's being, like, somewhat genuine. I don't even think he's, like, playing silly buggers like some people think. Like, he is, like, this is actually war for him, which is going to end very, very poorly.
there's a lot of sacrifice. And once I really make the effort to put this expose out there, I think it's going to be great to get away from here, go for a long drive, and just take my laptop with me, and I'm going to write. And like I said, I'm not really a professional writer. All I can do is tell my experience. I have a big list of names. I have the screenshots. And really, I hope some good comes out of it. But I have thought about it a lot that, you know, I talked about leaving this industry. And I think the truth is, that's what they want. That's what they want. So you know what?
Well, okay. So, and you're going to start seeing some parallels I'm going to be pointing out. I think he had a very bad mentor when it came to this, because this is sounding very DSP-esque. It's a lot of like mouthpiecing for like DSP, and it's the whole like, oh my god, like, you know, they want to drive me out of this industry. They hate me because they're driving me out. No, they want to keep farming you for fucking clout, my man. Not clout, for like clips and content and things like that. You know, they don't want you to leave. They have fun making fun of you. So really, like, it's, you know, it's very much something that has to, like, you got to get out of that mentality.
I'm not going to leave this industry. I'm going to keep doing this sacrifice. I think that the best thing is to...
I was kind of hoping he would leave just for his own mental health. Like, it's clearly like there are some people who can take this kind of like stuff. There's some people who can't. He clearly cannot.
Probably take a break for the time being. I'm going to take this vacation. I'm going to try to get my head a little bit cleared up. I'm going to go through this evidence of this abuse that I've suffered.
Not as good.
I'm going to do my best to I really am going to get in there. I'm going to get in there. I'm going to go to a hotel room. I'm going to put, you know, unsolved mysteries or forensic files or whatever it is on. I'm going to dim the lights. I'm going to put my laptop...
It's going to get real intimate with it, guys.
And I'm just going to write from the heart. And I think, you know, I think I'm going to be the first one that's ever done this, that finally is going to speak out about, you know...
honey, no. You definitely are not like the first to try and do something like this, but like, again, like, if you're worried that this guy is, or that you're getting a lot of hate because, you know, you're attracting the detractors and, you know, stuff like that, don't do this then. Why not just leave it alone? Because I don't think he gets as much flack as he thinks he could potentially get.
This whole Kino Casino DSP detractor
there's a Kino
culture of hate. Because that's what it is. You know, when I really get in there and try to understand, you know, what this really all is about, it's a culture of hate. And I've been used as a weapon of war to cultivate that hate.
My man, I don't, again, oh man, a weapon of hate. And I think I know what he's talking about. I actually did look a little more into it as things went on. And it's literally, I mean, it's the Kino Casino, you know, he said the Kino Casino. And it's, I found the thing, I think, actually. But it's like, you're trying to, like, oh my god, like, I'm making this sacrifice, I'm making this, it's kind of a savior complex almost in a way. Is he doing it for DSP? I like, and it feels like he is, but like, I don't know. And I said before, at one point he denounced DSP, I wonder if he's going to get into that. This is such a weird thing, and I declare war on the Kino Casino and the DSP detractor community and stuff like that. It's like, okay, I don't. You're gonna make some saucy videos about him or something.
To cultivate that viewpoint against another individual, and no more. No more stupid effing. Yeah, you better effing run. Executed. Pretty cool. But I think it's time to make people realize, these communities.
So it says, not to be too much of an asshole, but if he were a weapon, he'd be a rusty bar knife. Yeah, pretty much. I don't even think he'd be a rusty bar knife, because that would imply he might give someone tetanus. It's more like a dull butter knife.
Like this Kino Casino, like these DSP detractors. They like to pass it off as fun and games. But there's lives involved.
There's really not, my man. There are no lives involved in fucking the DSP detracting / even like just the commentator community in general. With the exception, of course, of the ones who take it too far, the doxers, the swatters, but those are like, even most people think like, most other people think that's bad. Like, even the detractor community, you dox someone, you're stupid. You shouldn't do that. You swat someone, you are putting someone's lives at risk. I don't think Phil's ever been swatted. Now that I think about it, he might have been once or twice, maybe in the early years when the Sons of Kojima were around. Those guys were crazy. Like, PWR is actually like about a decade too late when it comes to like doing something like this. If he really wanted to go to war, he should have went against the Sons of Kojima. And although, to be fair, he would have gotten his ass kicked. They were crazy and a bit deranged. I don't think he would have been able to. I think he would have been very much in trouble. A tarnished spoon. Yeah, that's a decent weapon of war for PWR.
There's abuse. There's hatred. And I felt the brunt of that just by simply being a fan, who wanted to come forward, wanted to celebrate.
Dude, somebody wind up the clock.
Somebody that I thought, really had something to say. And the truth is, now, maybe it's not about celebrating Phil.
Whoa, wait. Hold on. Is he talking about the birthday Burger King fiasco? Is that what this is all about? The birthday burger is all this stemming from, because that was, I think that maybe the first time, Kino Casino covered them. But yeah, it was the whole, they weren't trying to, detract on you. You literally donated your last dollar to DSP, and then you went on stream begging for a burger for Burger King. You didn't have enough money to buy Burger King because you gave it all to DSP. And that's a show on DSP. That's a show on how DSP manipulates his fans to make them give until it hurts. You were hurting. You are the poster child for what DSP does to his dents. He milks them until they're dry, and then he keeps going until the blood comes out. And then he keeps going, usually, for a lot of people, until they finally decide enough is enough and go away. Is that what this is all, stemming from? Because that actually was the catapult to his career. Once the Kino Casino highlighted him, he started going on the upswing.
It's about ending a culture of abuse.
As he's playing Postal 4.
These platforms that are based on exploitation and, hurting people's feelings. And like I said, when all is said and done, when I've had my chance to have my say in this expose.
Ah, man, I don't know. This will probably be the only time we do PWR, but he seems very genuine in that he is hurt. But the thing he is hurt about is so insanely stupid. It's just I don't know. It's like a puppy that broke its leg because it fell into a well, and then the puppy got pulled out, and then they decide they want to go back in the well. I don't know. It's such a dumb thing to rally for. You're never gonna get rid of the detractor community until Phil goes offline. And once Phil goes offline, guess what? The detractors are just going to find someone else. There are a lot of people out there. Just in the radius of DSP, there's RTU. There's, a couple, Low Tier God. There's a few others out there. Like, all they have to do, they'll just glom onto another. You'll never get rid of detractors because we like trash television. We are a culture that enjoys watching the Jerry Springers of the world and the train wrecks of the world. So to think he's going to go up against something like this, I mean, even a coalition can't do it. I mean, look at the Satanic Panic and stuff like that. Like, oh my God, these video games are evil. Oh my God, you're going up against a concept, my man. That's not good.
Of course, I'm going to have to look at avenues to get it public. I
You are
have to
public.
really make a challenging decision. I have to make a challenging decision that if I can't take these people down, then there's a final solution. There's a final solution that I'm planning on, that I'm thinking about.
I know he's not actually meaning anything to like the reference of that, but please stop saying final solution. It's very Columbine-y. Please find another way to refer to this. Zern says, I actually want to write it. If nothing else, it might be therapeutic. It might be. It could go one of two ways. It could finally be a catharsis, or it could wind him up even further.
That I'm really
I would hope it go
trying
the
to
one
nudge
way, but-
myself mentally into that place and hold these people accountable directly. I'm going to hold them accountable because you know what? The truth is, I'm the good guy in this. I am. I finally realized that in this campaign against hatred that I'm starting, I'm the good guy here. I'm the good guy. And these platforms like the Kino Casino, these DSP detractors, they're the enemy.
Okay, so... Oh, hold on.
They're the enemy that need to be, well, I can't say what they need to be.
All right, well, okay, again, very Columbine-y. Maybe, like, tone down the rhetoric a bit. But I've seen other clips. I kind of know what he's going for, so he's just very bad at, like, making his thoughts eloquent without... Because he's talking about putting people in jail, which we'll get into in a second, and how that's asinine as hell, but, like... I don't know. And he has said he has mental issues, which again is a typical DSP, fish that he likes to reel in. And he clearly still cares for DSP. Like, he clearly, whatever that whole thing was, like, I denounced DSP. It was a ruse, or he got a lot of remorse for it, or something like that. But this whole, I'm the good guy, they're the bad guy. It's a savior complex mentality. It's like, I'm going to save DSP. I'm going to save the whole world from these mean, evil people. And I wish we could tell him, like, it's not that big of a deal. But he clearly thinks it's a big deal. But we'll see later. It's kind of... I found the clips, thank God. So we'll watch those in a sec. But it's like, man, you gotta just... you gotta take a breath. And Zern makes a good point. Good guys who call themselves good and declare evil are usually not the actual good guy. It's very true. If you have to call yourself the good guy, you're not the good guy. Usually. Because usually if you're declaring, it means someone has said you're not the good guy. I don't think he's the bad guy yet. We'll see. I don't think he's the good guy in this, though. I think he's just going to be kind of the annoying guy that gets on people's nerves.
Oh, no, they sabotaged my career. That's what they did. They sabotaged my career.
All right.
And I'm no longer, I'm going to be honest and say that there were some kind things said to me in relation to my career. That is true. But the truth is, they sabotaged my career. They
how?
tried to monopolize their fan base in regards to my content and put all
Explain.
these ideas out to their viewers that, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to do this. And then I have to deal out with the fallout of that crap. And it did immense damage to my career.
My dude, your career before the Kino Casino got involved with you was like 8 people who again, trolled the living shit out of you. I don't know who's gassing him up, but I feel like this is a DSP echo. I feel like he hears DSP talking about these detractors, and he like, oh, that's me. You know, it's kind of like the TikTok mental symptoms kind of fiasco that's going on, where it's like, oh, you have autism if you have these 5 things, and it's like, you stay up after 1 a.m. It's like, I do that. I have autism. I think it's like the same thing, because he just said in the same like 30 seconds they helped his career, but then they sabotaged his career. And again, yeah, the Kino Casino did bring people over to his channel, but that only helped him. What was their sabotage? Giving you money? I don't get it. Like, what? I would love to interview this guy. I would love to sit this guy down and try and not even to take the piss out of him, just to be like, all right, give me the step by step how the Kino Casino highlighting you, and then getting their base to come in and like help. And you know, there's some trolling in there, don't get me wrong, but like, you know, it's a lot of good stuff in getting a bunch of money, moving out of your mom's house, getting your own apartment, getting a sponsor. How does that, how, I don't, like, I would need some receipts. I'd need some proof.
It really
Oh, and Zern says, it would be funny if this expose ruined DSP's toxic cycle and put the final nail in Phil's stream. It would be. I don't know. They've exposed a couple other dents that went to like bankruptcy and went to, I don't think that would do it, but
did. You know, they tried to monopolize
That's the stuff.
and devalue my brand. I'm not tolerating it anymore. I'm not going to pretend that they did any sort of good for me. And they are the enemy. Their whole platform, their whole means to success is hatred, is abuse.
Yeah, I'm feeling
you know,
more and
the
more.
fact that I came forward as a fan of that other 3-lettered product gave me success. But why did it give me success?
Okay, he might actually be going. Okay, he might actually be going into. So yeah, he denounced DSP. He got success. All right, so we're seeing the good part of it. So why is your brand devalued now?
Because it was based on hatred.
Oh, come on, dude.
It was based on abuse. And it was based on the fact that these effing DSP circle jerkers are so desperate to spread hate and abuse that the minute, you know, I started engaging in that hatred and abuse, I blew up. And
So, okay. All right. We're starting to get the picture. We're starting to get the I should have let it run a little longer. We're starting to piece together. So, what happened was he blew. Okay, it was exactly what I said. He ragged on DSP, which he calls the other product. So, again, I don't know, but like he's, you know, he ragged on DSP, and the detractors came and showered him with money and applause, mainly like the Kino Casino audience. Okay, so we got the fact that he realizes that, but he apparently did not want to be in the drama sphere, which is fine. Like, some people cannot take the drama sphere. I'm dipping a toe in it myself, and you know, we'll see how it goes, but like, it's not an easy like thing to do. It really isn't, you know, as far as like, you know, because you will get people who come in and be like, you're stupid, her. I mean, 30 years of being or not 30, 20 years of being a furry kind of inoculated me to such things. But you know, I'm wondering where he's gonna go, like where the crashing happened.
And that was this vein of reality that I tried to show, that I tried to prove, that I was essentially a tool to cultivate this hatred, and no more. They're going to be exposed. This whole DSP and it's like I said, it's not about DSP anymore.
So you didn't like ragging on DSP. So you now it's about hate. I don't know. And Zern says, seems like it was based on breaking the cycle DSP's abuse, found success, and now panicking because they don't know what to do or where to go. That's actually something that I was going to go into, but I'll do it now. a lot of people think, or some people think, that PWR is panicking because he's losing views. The Kino Casino has kind of forgotten about him. You know, and to be fair, it seems like he doesn't want anything to do with them anyway, so it's probably a mutual thing. But without that infusion, without the, now that he has success, he kind of devalued his own brand. His brand before was being kind of this weirdo guy who was very authentic. And he, said what he thought, and trolls came in. He's like, "Screw you, you freaking trolls!" Like, I'm taking off this. He like took calls and stuff like that. And like Zurin said, I think a lot of people were attracted to him in the first place because he did break DSP's hypnosis. He did break the cycle of abuse. He no longer, although who knows, maybe he still did donate to DSP. Maybe he's ICS, who knows. But he wasn't donating his last out. He moved out. He got steady numbers. He was living large. He was getting a pet. It was a real underdog story, and everyone liked that. But once that arc's completed, where do you go from there? And I think maybe they're right. Maybe he's trying to pivot to this whole, because he doesn't want to do the detracting, he's going to be like this anti-detractor, and he's going to be like, yes, I'm going to get you, but that's about as useful as being an anti-furry, which is nothing really comes of it because no one really gives a shit. Like, this is such a niche community that you have DSP himself, and then you have his detractors, and then kind of make like a little bit of like outer interest and stuff like that. But really, there's not a whole. The people who are going to read his book are probably just going to be like DSP detractors. And one other thing, even DSP himself denounced PWR. And what's funny is because PWR was getting kind of more famous than him, and was getting more support and more likes and more views, DSP actually kind of crashed out on PWR and said, like, he's dead to me as a dent. I don't want to see anyone talking about PWR. I don't want to see anyone like doing any PWR's memes or anything. Like, DSP essentially told PWR to go fuck himself, and even like threatened to sue. This was like the start of it's like, I'm gonna threaten lawsuits, so I imagine that hurt, and that's why I think PWR denounced him. But now he's kind of like waffling, and maybe he just doesn't know where to go, and he's trying this whole like anti-detractor route.
It's not about DSP anymore. It's about hatred. It's about abuse and these communities that foster this abuse. That's what this has become now. And like I said, I'm the good guy here. I'm the good guy here. And they're gonna find out what this abuse can lead people to do. Now,
again, very poor phrasing.
I can't go too much. I can't say too much. But I do have a final solution. If I can't take these people down directly, then there will be a major sacrifice that will need to be given in order to finally expose this hidden community full of hatred that they like to hide in. But
I mean, they're not really hiding it. It's like Snort Burnell and Snort Hogan and do these streams, and like, they don't put their names up there, but that's just sec ops. I'm not putting my name up there, and that was before I started doing this. And again, the phrasing is just awful, but like, from the context of like other clips and other things, he's talking about trying to put these people in jails, and getting them arrested, which again is stupid, but we'll get into that with the clips.
They're all gonna go down for this. They're all gonna go down. Like I said, first, working on my major expose. It's gonna release names. It's gonna release content that I have directly received. Like, we're talking death threats. We're talking homophobia. We're talking every form of hate that you can imagine. And I'm gonna absolutely expose it for what it is. Because it's not fun and games. These F and DSP
it's mostly
detractors,
fun games.
they just like to wipe their hands and say, oh, it's just fun and games, but it's not. And I'm just going to say it right here, and it's hard to say this because I really do love the real fans, but I screwed.
Here it is.
I robbed the DSP detractors. I screwed and I robbed the Keno Casino just to prove a point that these people want blood.
Okay, there it was. And this is why I was originally not even, like, when I saw the two-parter in the first part, I'm like, do I really want to rehash? There we go. Here's the DSP puppeting right here. 100%. I robbed the casino. I robbed the DSP detractors. They gave you money, and if you were putting on an act, good show, I guess, but again, like, other than that, like, you really only robbed the people that thought you were cool. Like, good job. But it's the same thing DSP said. I robbed the casino. I took everything from them. Blah blah blah. You know, they lost. I won. It's a huge cope. It's massive coping. And if you're, again, as I said to DSP, if you're ashamed of the money you got, or if you think that, oh, this is blood money or whatever, give it back. Give it all back. And I'm being a little harsher now, but this is because this kind of stuff is, it's very much, he is still watching DSP, or he's watching the detractors, and he's seeing these, you know, clips about how stupid DSP looks about the whole robbing the casino, and now he had a bad mentor. I feel like if he was doing, like, streaming from, like, any other perspective of any other person, he might be better off, but he has DSP as his mentor, which is why we're getting shit like this, I feel like. And Zern says, if they were hiding it, then I'd never know any of this and be much happier. Me too, Zern. Me too.
That they want people to be torn down to the lowest. That they used me as a weapon of war against somebody that I see as a hero.
So there we are. He's still White Knights for Phil. 100%. He is still 100% a DSP dent. He may have broken free, but he fell back in. He fell off the wagon. He's back on the DSP juice. I wouldn't be surprised if we see this man donating in the next span of trying to get back into DSP's good graces. And Zern says homophobic. He does know Phil isn't exactly an ally, right? Well, Phil likes to pretend to be an ally. Phil's like, oh no, I love people, LGBT people. I love, people of, that sort of thing. And he's not. He calls PPP gay all the time as a slur, not as joking, it's the context of a derogatory term. Like, it's not just someone saying, oh, that's so gay, or that's so, being like, that's so stupid, which, meh. But, like, he is literally saying it in a derogatory fashion, as a pure insult, as a slur. This is the man he's like, oh, but I get homophobia too. And part of it is because your whole catchphrase is like, a butt's a butt, or I forget what it is, like, or any butt will do, is like, yeah, okay, you come off gay and you're going to draw in people who are anti-gay. It's just what happens. I don't even think they'd be DSP's detractors most times. They're just people who hear that and go, I don't like this, and I'm going to say something. It's,
Maybe not so much now, since I've seen more what the modern dark side Phil is really all about. But we're talking people here. And like I said, I'm the good guy in this. My hands are clean here. I know that I'm a good person. I know.
Man, I don't know. I'm going to play a little devil's advocate here. You say Phil's your hero, but you stabbed his ass in the back when you did that whole I denounce DSP. Not very good guy material, my man. Not very good guy material. And, I don't want to tear this guy down because, again, he's very mentally fragile. But at the same time, I got to point out the hypocrisy of that. Like, you're saying you're the good guy. Phil's a hero. Phil's the paragon of virtue. But then you also spend time shitting on him. You told a couple of people, the casino, a couple other people, you no longer like Phil. Phil is, a bad person, stuff like that. And Zern says, a hero? Phil? We barely understand or correctly use that term as it is, but by no definition is Phil a hero. He is not. I don't even know what he's been on YouTube for 17 years. That's not a hero. That's just someone who is a YouTuber. He doesn't do anything heroic. He said he won't donate to charity because the detractors will ruin it. Fuck off. He doesn't do anything for like the good of his audience. He doesn't do anything that, he's very negative and toxic most of the times. He's not a hero. He's barely a good person. He's not even a good person. He's barely a person. He's a beggar and a bum. And Zurian says, I've been more hurt by people calling themselves good than most people call bad. I actually am in kind of that camp myself. It has happened to me too. It is kind of a red flag, as Zurian said, that it's calling yourself a good guy is usually not a good indicator.
Oh, that I'm almost taking on this Herculean task of ending this DSP detractor.
You're not going to do it, my dude.
But if I can't do it individually,
Yep, I'm game.
then as I'm saying, I have a final solution in store that's really going to make a statement.
Yeah, calling yourself a good guy and then using terms like final solution and sacrifice, stuff like that, not a good look. It's not a good look. Very 1940s Berlin, if you know what I'm saying. Like, you gotta get someone to help you with that. It's very Columbine.
And I am going to be absolutely sure that the full story is told, that the full sacrifice is understood, and a lot of people are going to be looked into because of this. And their whole campaign of abuse will end. And if I have to sacrifice my life, my career, in order to make a change, then I might have to do it. I might have to do it because even being involved in this, I've given up everything. I've given up everything. My hopes, my dreams, my future. And I was well compensated, for this career that I've done and for this statement that I've made.
Well, and there's the thing. Again, you got paid huge amounts of money from this detractor community that you say you hate now. Are you going to give the money back? Are you going to, issue a formal apology to Phil and all these people? Like, you're talking a lot of bluster. Talk is cheap, and it's easy. And like Zern, I have pretty much lost all of my sympathy in watching this. And I still hope he gets help. And I still hope that he might find someone outside of the internet to maybe, like, work through some of this. But, like, in terms of it, and now we know he is a liar. Or at the very least, he's a hypocrite. Because he said, I hate DSP, now I don't like him, I'm detracting. And now he's saying, I've always seen him as a hero. So which is it? Very hypocritical, not very good guy. Not very good guy at all. What are you going to do when they start coming in at you? Because I guarantee you, if you go after the detractor community, right now what you've got, you probably ain't seen nothing yet. So if you're really if you're going to start doxing, or if you're going to start with, like, whatever you're going to do, and you make a hard run, prepare yourself, because that shit gets real fast. Like, it's silly buggers and fun and games right now. When you start going after people's livelihoods, if you start going after people's jobs, if you start going after people's families, if you're trying to, like, get them in jail, stuff like that, if they're as bad as you think they are, you are ill prepared. I would say just write your book, maybe release it, and then just move on. Or, if that's your catharsis, and then just move on from this. But apparently he's rebranding himself as, like, the paragon of anti-abuse, which always goes well.
But like I said, I don't want anyone confused, because I really do appreciate the fans. In fact, the real fans, beyond these effing loser effing DSP detractors, is the reason why I kept doing this. The reason why I tried to change and, tried to not talk about the detractors. And the truth is, I love doing it. I love doing it. And maybe in a few weeks after I take this trip, when I start this expose book that I'm working on, maybe I will come back. Maybe I will come back. But if there is no other way to stop this culture of abuse that they've manifested, if no change is brought forward from this expose novel that I'm going to write about my journey into this vortex of bullying and abuse, then there's another plan. There's another sacrifice that will have to be made.
Damn.
And they can hide, they can joke, they can pretend. See, this is what makes me sick. And I talked about it before, like that absolute degenerate bro-side Phil.
Okay, I'm going to call some bullshits on this one. I'm going to... Well, Zer says we call Phil a victim even mistakenly. Be less frustrated. Call him a hero, racist delusion, dependence. It does. He's 100% dependent on dark side Phil. He's sucking his dick. But here's the thing, and I just realized this now, listening to this and watching this, and it's kind of getting me pissed. You are saying that you get death threats, you're getting stuff like this from this community is the worst thing, and you go against the anti-abuse. And now you are... So now you said, I'm writing this expose book and blah, blah, blah. And now you're, whether accidentally or on purpose, you're saying this, oh, well, I have another sacrifice and it's really gonna, and they can hide. But isn't this fucking death threats? Aren't we just doing the same fucking thing? Like, now I'm pissed. Aren't you just, you are doing the exact same fucking thing that those people did to you. You are the bully, my friend. You are now the bully. And I want that to resonate. Because if you want to take on this mantle of purity and righteousness, then you better fucking make sure it stays clean. Because right now, it's looking like you want to get awfully dirty, my friend. Awfully dirty. So maybe you should take a step back, you should get your life in order, and you should think about what the fuck you're trying to say. Because that shit... If you are even hinting at that kind of shit, you are just as degenerate, if not more so, than the people that you are trying to take down. That's all I have to say about that. Let's keep this shit going.
You know, talking about being an ex-cop, but in the same breath, supporting this culture of abuse. So are you going to support my final solution? Same with duty streams. Profiting
two detractor channels that just clip
and cultivating this hatred, this abuse, thinking that he has something to say. But when you directly are involved in my final solution, there's not going to be so much laughing and joking and giggling anymore, because I am going to absolutely make sure that every last one of them are held accountable, that my story, that my journey into the depths of this abuse brings change, makes a difference, because they're really gonna see.
Again, you are threatening. You are issuing threats, and you're the vague nature. I feel like that's on purpose to scare people. You are terrorizing people. You know what most people call that? Being a terrorist. And I know that's a lot of people misuse that word. But you are trying to instill terror. Now, you think, oh, I'm doing this because I'm the good guy. At this point, you are no longer the good guy, not even, like, thinking and pretending. You are not. You are not the good guy. And I'm not saying because, oh, you know, I just want to keep making fun of Phil and stuff like that. This is deliberate, targeted language. And you don't need to be an English expert to know what you are trying to do, and it's very shitty. This is very shitty. And like in the beforehand, I was very concerned because I thought maybe you were going to, you know, end things and then blame the detractors, and that's what you thought. But if you're going to this alternate route, because clearly that's not the path you're going down. And I thought from other contexts, you're just going to try and like put them in jail, which haha, good luck, nice try. But like, if there's a second solution, and oh, you'll see, you're issuing fucking threats. These are threats against someone's life, maybe, allegedly. Even the vague notion of it is shitty, and you should be ashamed of yourself. I think you should lose. I think you should lose everything, and I think you should get off the internet. I think you should lose everything related to the internet. I should be more specific. See, I'm going to be more specific. I think you should lose this channel. You should go out, touch grass, find a different job, find a different life. Because this is sickening. It sickens me. I am sick to my stomach. Because you are exactly what you say other people are. Let's finish this shit. I'm done with this fucker.
This culture of hatred affects not only this society, not only this streaming industry, not only the individuals caught in the crossfire, as well as the collateral damage, family, friends, lives, whatever it will be.
That's gonna hurt. It's that one.
But they will be held accountable. I swear, I've already lost everything I've ever had, and they will be accountable. So join me in this campaign against abuse, and we can really make a change.
Your way.
We can really make a change that nobody else has had the balls to do.
Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Shit. Well, it went over to the next one, but so yeah, oh my god. So yeah, he's trying to do a rally. He's trying to oh hey, it's really that got under my skin right at the end there. And like Zern said, consider his language. I agree completely. Go figure. Another good guy is a bully issuing threats. Those were all fucking threats, 100%. And again, whether you're being vague or whether you're being whatever, it really doesn't matter. That kind of shit. If you want a white knight, you better make sure your armor's spotless. Because if you start getting messy in that shit, people are going to, poke fun of it. And you have your own place. You say you lost everything. Are you in your own apartment? Are you eating food? Do you have money? Because I see people donating to your stream at the same time. So you clearly haven't. But if you go down this kind of path, I guarantee you will. And you're going to sit there like DSP and you're going to wonder why this happened. Because he has longevity. He at least has 17 years to hypnotize his dents. You do not have that kind of staying power. I guarantee it. So real quick, and then just to kind of shore up what I was saying, these are a couple of this is from his last stream.
I think I'm the only one with the balls enough to expose this DSP.
I can't remember what order they're in, but
circle jerk.
But they're only like 5 minutes.
Hate. And oh yeah, you all like to hide behind the guise of, oh, it's just having fun. Well, when I put my final solution,
stop saying final solution,
into preparation, it's not gonna be so fun in games anymore.
There again, is more threats, more.
Maybe that's the thing to do. I have to get myself in the mindset if I really want to go through with this final.
Through with what? You need to explain yourself right now.
I have to get myself into that mindset.
But apparently he had a 5-hour stream and he didn't say anything except you just rambled on like this. This is his last stream, by the way. He hasn't been on in a week.
Because the truth is, I've been dealing with these fantasies for a long time. And, it was medication, it was institutionalism. And, but now, I'm off medication.
No, you might want to go back on it.
I finally found a purpose. If your solution was a vid game, what's the title? How about Killzone 2?
And there you go. Another, if you want, I want to keep that one in there because, and I didn't now in the context of the last one, I should have finished that clip. But, okay, you just issued death threats to people. How is that good? How is that the purity of being anti-bullying? You just said you're going to kill detractors. You should really be prosecuted, in my opinion. And I feel bad that you had a tough life, that you've been institutionalized. I was almost there myself. I avoided it, but I was almost there myself. I almost got sent to the loony bin myself. So I get it. That's hard. But in no means do you visit your misery on someone else. Your like the detractors for DSP, it is mostly silly buggers. Again, some people go too far. Some people do stuff like that. Those people are scumbags. But you are a scumbag too. You are a scumbag, PWR. And I feel totally fine saying that. Here's the next one. This is his
of my childhood, and I want to celebrate that with the fans. Now I already am seeing abuse. I'm already seeing abuse, and I'm just gonna let you know that tonight I'm making a list.
And he's checking it twice
Of these accounts that I see that are abusing me.
He's writing down usernames.
And you're going to be brought down. I'm not screwing around anymore. I'm ending this DSP culture of abuse, this community. I'm gonna end this culture of abuse.
This is also why I want to this is why I want to find these clips, because back when it was just like, oh, I'm just going to take him down, take him to jail. What are you gonna do? You're gonna subpoena YouTube and be like, I got this list of people who were mean to me. You can't do that. You know how they're going to respond? Turn off the stream. Turn off YouTube. That's your solution. And as long as you can do that, you can't have a legal remedy. Not when there's an easy way to turn it off. It's not like someone looking outside someone's window. That's a very real and present threat. Now you need the police involved. If someone says you suck on the internet, block them. Or take them, or go offline or something like that. And I get you're a front-facing person and YouTube is technically your job, but you can't just go about doing that because they're going to laugh in your face.
Like I say, I have no life, no wife, nothing.
Then get one.
And if they're going to screw my career, then I'm taking them all down. Oh, we got more. Like I said, I got a whole booklet here. I'm going to write down every name.
And the thing is,
that's in here,
he's
abusing my career.
And the thing is, like, a lot of people, even in like other circles, found him endearing. Like, if he had just kind of stuck with kind of his previous persona of like, you know, this kind of like quirky, kind of awkward dude that lives in his parents' house, and, you know, people sympathize with him. This whole like crusader mentality is just wrong, and it's going to turn a lot of people off. You're just making yourself a fool or the villain, as Zurin said, and traumatized people are more likely to traumatize. And, you know, you can be a victim forever and descend into villainy, or you can take care of yourself and break the cycle. This fool chose villainy. And you also said you do not need another person to have a life. You don't. I'm very lucky. I had Kitty in my life for a very long time. But you know how long I went with having no one? High school? A lot of college? You know, I managed to finally pick up friends in college. But before that, before high school, I was the geeky, awkward kid. I was alone. I was a ghost. But did that stop me from having a life? No, I got into video games. I got into writing. It's what made me the person I am today. And do I visit that misery on other people? No. I want people to be better. I want to take on, you know, and help others have a more positive experience. Not like DSP, who pretends to do it. But you have to, you know, you can't go and be like, I was harmed, therefore, and these people harmed me, therefore I'm going to harm them back. Eye for an eye makes the whole world go blind. And it's like someone tickling you without their permission. Is it kind of shitty? Yeah, they shouldn't probably do that. But, you know, if you punch them in the face, you're the worst person. And yeah, Zern says you can't wait for someone or can't sit there, wait, and then not meet anyone. There's an old story which is very funny. It's, you know, a town is flooded and a guy is rising up to the roof and he prays to God, please God, save me. And a boat comes by and says, hey, we got extra room, you want to hop on? And he goes, no, my Lord will save me. And he goes, please God, please save me. And then another trawler comes by and says, hey, we can help get you out of there, off that roof. And he goes, no, God will save me. And again, praise to God. And a helicopter he sees in the distance, like, hey, we have a rope we can lower down to you. And he goes, no, God will save me. And then the flood waters rise and he dies. And he gets to heaven and he asks God, I prayed to you. Why didn't you save me? And God goes, you dumb son of a bitch. I sent 2 boats and a helicopter. What more could you wanted? Like, it's, you have, the Lord helps those who help themselves. You have to be proactive in this, and you can't just sit there and seething. It makes you look like a baby.
Devaluing my living here.
You're devaluing it yourself by focus. It's just
Now,
like DSP.
As you see, now I gotta give the history.
You really don't.
Oh look, what a surprise! We got more
must have got that.
abusers here that I'm gonna take the names of. I'm gonna make sure all you effing DSP circle jerkers, you abusers, you bullies, are directly responsible.
Also threats. I have your name. Now I'm gonna fuck you.
I'm trying to take myself back to a better time and share that passion with the real fans. Oh, here's another one. Iconic. You're in no.
Oh, what a crybaby. Sorry, he's getting under my skin in like a bad way, but it also, like, you're trying to go back to a better time. What about now? You have fast food, your favorite food. You're playing your favorite video game. You're surrounded by, you say, people that actually like you. Isn't that good? Why can't you just be happy with what you have? And it's this weird mentality. And again, it's a DSP mentality. I feel like he fell back real hard.
Well, your name is going down. Let's see here.
Just be happy. Can't you just be happy?
So, when I put this final solution into effect.
More threats.
The name is right
Describe
there.
the final solution, please.
Who else wants on this list?
It's fake threats, very DSP.
That these names are held accountable.
I'm sure.
Now, can I please enjoy my childhood meal?
Well, no, because you're feeding the trolls.
Let's see the abuse. I got names right here.
You're feeding the trolls, my man. I don't know
who wants to, do a hard jail sentence,
And
right?
That's where I thought, oh, it's jail.
Okay, we got this old Greg. Who else?
Sir, these usernames made fun of me. Give them 5 years.
You're going to be looking at some hard time.
What hard time?
Come on, let's see the abuse. Give me the same abuse.
Plus, my dude, you live in Canada. Most people who are probably ragging you are in the U.S. There are probably some Canadians in there too, but like, you're gonna do international lawsuits or international, like, crime busting. The police are going to laugh your ass out. Like, we kind of have bigger problems here than a bunch of people who are me on the internet. Sorry.
That you give Phil.
Kind of a bigger problems.
Abuse me, DSP detractors.
And now you're asking for it.
Abuse me.
Savior complex.
And I'll take your reins and I'll write them down.
It's more of a messiah complex, actually.
I will be releasing the list. Actually, what I'm doing is I am taking a vacation. I'm taking my laptop to a hotel.
Okay.
I'm gonna write. I'm gonna tell my experience of really delving into this DSP community of hate. Oh, we got another one here. DSP's incident. Oh, we got more.
Sir, we need I must issue YouTube a subpoena for DSP's incident. I need that username immediately. That's a joke. See, and that's what I was going into. It's like, aha, finding silly buggers. Like, oh, he's spazzing out and he's going to, like, try and do the DSP. But, like, that one area.
Writing this expose.
We'll just take a quick look at these other two, but I'm pretty much done with this clown.
That's going to release names. That's going to release the abuse that I've received.
No one cares. No one's going to care that you got abused. I'm sorry. That's the way of the world.
Going to jail. I am writing them down. I already have a list.
Motherfucker.
I already have.
No one's going to jail. No one is going to fucking jail for this. No police is going to take your, like, they said mean things to you. If that was true, then 3/4 of the fucking internet would be in prison right now. Foolish dependency and Duran says, seriously, does his therapist, doctor, priest, or mother know he is off his meds? No, he does need a wellness check. I will say that he does at the very least need someone to check up on him, because if this is him off his meds, we may have a problem.
A list of who I am gonna make directly responsible. Now it's gonna be incredibly emotional.
And
It's
at this
gonna-
point, I
they're
think he's
gonna-
kind
they
of drunk.
attacked him because of his sexuality. They attacked him because of his personal life, and that's what's gonna bring them down. No, they're not gonna like, I don't care. There's gonna be real people that are gonna read this novel.
There will not. There will be DSP detractors, maybe the Kino Casino, but they're done with you too. Like, DSP won't even read this. He's not your ally, man.
That are gonna be like, their eyes are gonna be open at how these communities put people's lives at risk.
They don't put people's lives at risk.
Thank you so much. We got
All right, this is the other one I saw like right away, and this is the one this is his. He's talking about detractors devaluing his brand and stuff like this. Here is a $20 donation from someone who claims he is a mod, and I tend to believe him. So,
Creative Deconstruction says, longtime donator and mod, you've changed. You don't care about your audience and fans like I thought you did. Go F yourself, you effing coward. Unmod me now. And keep this dirty stripper money. Enjoy, you mini Phil. Well, thank you. I do appreciate your support.
oblivious.
Like I said, I do care about the real fans.
You do not.
That is why I've continued to do this for so long.
But here's the thing, you're real fan, and here's a little piece of life advice. I kind of beat you up at the end. You deserved it, don't get me wrong. But here's a little life advice. Your fans are telling you stop doing this dumb pay shit and do what you usually do. Play games, eat food, and talk about various things, childhood and stuff like that. Be a decent content streamer. This whole like anti-abuse thing, it's so fucking lame. It's just stupid. And if you're off your meds and maybe you should seek some help, and maybe you should actually get off the internet and go find a therapist or a doctor or your mother. Apparently, like, you need to like find someone. If it's getting to the point where you're having these fantasies and you're talking about this final solution, don't think you can't think of yourself as a good person and then say all that. Now, if you're going through a drug thing, I do want to give you a little leeway there, but not much. I'm not going to give you much. It was your choice to take off your meds, and you really should have probably stayed on them if you're spiraling out this hard. I've seen earlier versions of PWR. I don't know if he was on his meds at that time, but I can't, other than like the kind of the rhetoric, he acts pretty much the same as he did before, so I don't know if maybe that's a cope or maybe he's lying. Now he has been revealed as a liar, so who knows? But he needs to get help. He just needs to get fucking some sort of help at some point, whether this is an act or whether this is real, or he's just doing it for attention, or he's doing it for clout, or he's doing it for a rebrand. Like, it's not, you should talk to someone, because someone needs to tell you to knock this shit off. Knock it off and get some help. Like, or even if it's just someone that you can talk to about this that's not part of this whole sphere, because or at the very least, you need to describe what this final solution is, because you're going to freak out the wrong people, and you might be the one that gets hurt from it. Someone's going to possibly take that the wrong way, and if they're as crazy as you say they are, you could be the one that's getting, in trouble here. Like, you need to really take a step back and evaluate your life. And that's me being nice. Like, I'm trying to be nice. I really am, because the things you say are very scummy and they're very poor. So that would get you usually way more wrath than what I'm giving you. I'm actually being very kind and trying to give you reasonable assertions of maybe there's a couple screws rattling around that got loose and you need someone to tighten them up. But if you do see this, fucking fine, like get off the internet and talk. Like you haven't been on for a week. He has not been streaming for a week. Maybe he did find some help. Hopefully we can all cross our fingers, because if he keeps going this route, I mean, this will probably be the last time I ever cover him. But I guarantee it's just going to get worse for him. Like, it's going to pile on real bad. So he needs to like take a different path. You know, he needs to find a different path. Even just the whole, like, I want to be a stalwart for anti-abuse, or, you know, stuff like that. That's stupid. That's a dumb. Or if you're going to do it in a wholesome way, in a sensible way of, like, trying to be like, let's put awareness for people who dox and SWAT and stuff like that. But then prepare yourself. So that's it for me. This went out for an hour. That's way longer than I thought. If you like, if you're here at the end, I appreciate you. Join us next time for more Phil. Get us to 100 subs. We'll do the DSP tries that. The protein bar challenge, 500 for the first stream. On Kick, all that good stuff. I need to I'm gonna get food. I need to eat something that's greasy. So, like, you take care, everyone, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.